Hello, I'm Alex Wandel, researcher at Delft University of Technology and scientific coordinator of REPAIR. I will give you a brief overview of the EU-funded Horizon 2020 project REPAIR, Resource Management in Peri-Urban Areas, going beyond urban metabolism. REPAIR follows a geo-design approach based on a framework developed by Karl Steinitz. This approach asks 6 questions to develop 6 models in 3 iterations. We use this framework to develop, test and implement a geo-design decision support environment, in short, GDSE. The GDSE is used for the development of integrative spatial development strategies that understand waste and related treatment processes as a resource. We achieved this aim by combining geo-design with a living lab approach in 6 peri-urban living labs, or pools, across Europe. Our pools took place in Łódź, Pécs, Hamburg, Ghent, Naples and Amsterdam, organized by a consortium of 18 partners and involving many local stakeholders. The GDSE is a web application that facilitates the co-creative process between groups of stakeholders to develop, discuss, assess and document eco-innovative solutions and strategies to support better waste management strategies and the transition towards a circular economy. The project was organized in 8 interrelated work packages that cooperated like a well-oiled gearbox. In the center is work package 5, which organized the peri-urban living labs and the co-developed eco-innovative solutions and strategies. In order to do so, work package 3 developed and performed an integrated sociospatial and flow analysis. Work package 4 developed and applied a sustainability assessment in order to understand if eco-innovative solutions are an improvement in comparison to the status quo. Work package 6 developed various decision methods to guide and support the stakeholders in the peri-urban living labs. With 6 cases involved, learning among and between them was crucial. Work package 7 took care of that. Finally, work package 2 programmed, in collaboration with all other work packages, the GDSE, so that the different disciplines and aspects come together in a way that informs decision makers and circular economy stakeholders. More than 60 researchers were involved in this process, well managed by work package 1. Finally, work package 8 took care of data management and the dissemination of our results. Therefore, the work package leaders and the pool leaders are the best people to ask about the critical findings, challenges and successes of this 4-year-long collaboration. Let's see what they've answered.
Yeah, I think the GDSE is really crucial, as it is really not only literal a table on which you share your focus, be it spatial focus or be it a specific flow related to resource or waste, but in particular it's also, you could say, an environment, as it is in the name already says. It's an environment in which you meet, in which disciplines can let's say, reflect on their own perspective on the same topic. So it's spatial, it's actor related, it's accurate, and it's also, you could say, it connects, or it connects to other efforts in the REPAIR work.
Yeah, stakeholders actually were really amazed about the design of the GDSE and merely respected the data behind. So both the maps and flows and the functions were really useful concerning them, but they told us that the platform needs an expert who can moderate and who can help the decision makers to understand the structure of the GDSE, but what is behind and what and how the design is look like and what is behind it. It was really useful them.
The pilot from the metropolitan area of Naples was started before the finishing of the complete package of the GDC. That is why I think we were very useful as a learning by doing living lab. In a sense, we learned from GDSC, and GDSC learned from Naples and Amsterdam.
For me, the GDSC is an important tool to document the whole process in a very user-friendly way. That means that you have different solutions, different stakeholders. You can find traces of all people that have been participating, of all solutions that have been proposed. Even if you don't use them in the end, they are still there. And for me, that's that's an interesting one, that you really document in a very systematic way your discussions, your debates. I think that, normally you don't keep that specifically on records when you make minutes of a meeting. So for me, that's a strong point.
I hope that there's going to be two sorts of users in the future. Ones that say, okay, that's a cool tool, I can use that for my living labs, and either use it as a whole or take parts of it just as the way the GDZ is designed, and use its modularity and saying, okay, the first 3 steps I'm going to use, and for the rest I take my own concept. Know how to program, we'll just use the fact that it's open source and take the modules out they like, use it for other contexts in the whole circularity and waste discussion, and just build their own tools.
And moreover, the website will be the place to learn more and download the whole GDSC software, which has been developed within the project.
And then in these pools, in these periodic living labs, I think it's crucial that that all these disciplines, that they are represented together with stakeholders from practice, and that they find kind of what they call equal playing field. That actually it is a real, let's say, level playing field in which decisions are made jointly, informed by the different disciplines and, let's say, the feedback of the tool, which is very detailed and accurate.
I think that involvement of people, of citizens, is the most suitable method to hold closer people, territories, and urban spaces. And we have experimented this method in our pools, the peri-urban living labs. The peri-urban living lab is a laboratory where we could meet people, we could share values, and could also share strategies.
The most important findings were 2. The first one is the definition of a living lab, peri-urban living lab methodology, which is based on a co-creation process, and it's organized in 5 iterative phases, which are very much linked to the 6 geodesign questions, and thus to the GDSC application point. And these phases are co-exploring, co-design, co-production, co-decision, and co-governance. And each of these phases is going to feed 1 or more geodesign questions.
From the Amsterdam metropolitan area, and with experts from the Netherlands in several workshops throughout the 4 years, and getting all their input in the different phases of the project, from the co-exploration to also co-design, co-production phases. And I think that has been very interesting to work with such a group for those 4 years, and getting their involvement. And it's also a project that we could not have done without the input of all the stakeholders.
Of the pool methodology, where actually people meet very early in the process and where they determine the problems they want to solve together. This gives another dynamic to the rest of the process. So yeah, for me that was an important one.
In some cases, we created new coalitions around data exchange. For example, in the Amsterdam metropolitan area, detailed data were available but classified. And through a special agreement, we could use the data for scientific purposes and making it possible to achieve high levels of data precision without sharing any private data publicly.
Organization of knowledge transfer events. For instance, in the case of PAGE, we invited experts and the new technologies and new innovations from the Amsterdam metropolitan area and from Naples, new solutions, and our stakeholders were really enthusiastic, and they were really happy to hear new solutions. And they, after the presentation of these new solutions, they just started immediately to translate and transfer to the PAGE case and to the PAGE situation. And this brainstorming was really useful and fruitful. How the different innovations can be used in our situation and in our culture.
Then we had, for example, the proposals from the students of Delft, but also the exchange on the solutions from other cities, because there at least we had already some solutions that were defined, that were explained, and then it was easier to give feedback. So everyone had a very specific role in the process.
I think that the most important thing is, for example, the online knowledge transfer handbook, which is there published in 6 languages, or to search the repair catalog of eco-innovative solutions.
It was an interesting result to see different challenges in the different regions, and we were able to also group these challenges into 3 different types. And these 3 types are first multi-level governance challenges, which means challenges that occur when different levels of government cooperate, national, regional, and local level. Then the second field of governance challenges are so-called cross-thematic challenges. This means that challenges that occur when different fields, different pillars of the public sector cooperate. And in our case, this was at least the field of spatial planning and of waste management, but also of economic development and so on. And if you aim at improving the circularity in your region, then you always have to think about how you integrate different fields, different pillars of the public sector in order to overcome challenges. And then the third field is the so-called multi-actor or quadruple helix governance, which means that governance challenges that occur when the public sector, the economic sector, the scientific sector, and the civic society cooperate. And this was also very interesting to see how different our 6 cases are, because we have some of the city regions where, for example, the civic society is already quite strong in the field of circular economy, circularity, for example, in Amsterdam. But also in Hamburg, we have a lot of many initiatives, activities going on. And while in other regions, this is not yet so much the case. And the challenge is to, again, with the perspective to make a region more circular, how to integrate, how to bring together these different approaches, different stakeholders from public, economic, scientific, and civic society sectors.
2 main differences between the situation nowadays in Poland and in which area particularly, but I think that processes are general for Poland, and the other cases, especially those one from Germany, Netherlands, and Belgium. So those 2 differences are the big involvement of the private companies, private institutions, private business in the circular economy model. So this means that those companies see profits in idea, which means it has a bigger chances to work. Yeah, in Poland, still the participation of private business in the waste treatment or using the waste as resources is on a low level. So the involvement of the public, of the private institutions is crucial for the good and well-managed circular economy idea. And the second element is the better understanding of inhabitants of the concept of the circular economy in terms that it helps the environment, it helps economy, it helps society, it helps our neighborhood, our villages, our districts to maintaining a good environment for living. Also, it's better for the natural environment, for the other aspects. Yeah. So the public acceptance of that effort.
Wastes are understood as wasted landscape resources, which could be re-inputted again in the urban metabolic flows through a regenerative process.
I think that this extraordinary outcome of the entire process is the construction of visions of transforming territories in which, for example, the dump can become a park, the waste of CDBU can become a new soil for building, for example, in our reality, a new territorially large park, as in Scafatella nearby, has been that we have expanded the results of sort of regenerative policies beyond the sectoral field of waste management. We went beyond. It means that the more rational management of waste cycle can correspond to the best planning and management of regeneration of peri-urban public space.
Where we actually did the environmental assessment, which is also crucial because circular is not by definition sustainable. You need to really assess if a circular alternative foreseen in the group of decision makers really is more sustainable. I think this super value of tool and assessment, that's really something which makes a great setup.
Is the development of the sustainability assessment framework that we have made specifically for waste management systems that we analyze for all the cities involved in repair projects. It entails economic indicators, but equally social indicators and also environmental indicators. So we really look at all these aspects and cover the 3 pillars of sustainability. And what I also very much like is that we go in depth also into local impacts. We have developed a framework not alone, so local and European stakeholders were engaged during the development of the framework, and they really helped in identifying and selecting all these impact categories. We have in total 27 indicators at midpoint level. Another achievement, I think, and that was quite hard, is the application of the framework towards all the waste management systems in the city. So we have analyzed how they are performing basically from a sustainability point of view.
Deal mostly with land use questions, like the classical geodesign tools do, and I think the way we changed the focus during the project into this question how to deal with flows and how to also model the impacts of the solutions on waste flows was a shift we didn't expect at the beginning, and which are, I think, a very interesting outcome of this project and work package 2.
the integration of multiple urban metabolism-related perspectives into one method and tool, in which we explored and established the synergy between waste and resource management on the one hand and spatial territorial organization on the other. And this tool, which we coined the activity-based spatial material flow analysis, enables us and decision makers, most of all, to pinpoint and visualize current waste flows from origin to destination in a detailed way.
I believe the next big challenge is to align sustainability assessments with measuring the level of circularity of solutions and situations in general.
We have to reach people to make them understand that an innovative management of the entire waste cycle in terms of eco-innovation can have a significant relapses on the urban sector and on the everyday life, on the urban space, on the public space of the everyday life.
Kind of stakeholders coming from different perspectives, from public, private sectors, but also associations, we understood that there were a lot of already interesting actions going on in the territories. And these single actions had to be put together to join their forces and to enhance their overall process, overall potential. In this sense, I think that especially for the territorial regeneration and wastegate perspective, this enhancement on single action was the real interesting outcome of our pool activities.
They are still on the drawing board, let's say. Some of them have been tested in practice, but they might not be the ones that we have developed ourselves, but that were already being developed in the market. Whereas others are really still in the making. And I think also there are quite a lot of nice ideas about eco-innovative solutions that we did not get to develop, that we did not get to test.
We're better from an economic, social, and/or environmental perspective. It came out that it's really a good pathway to investigate is animal feed and food production from organic waste, for example. That was a really nice outcome that we should investigate, but we have there the limitation of legislation at European level, also at national level.
So the Repair Project Consortium consists of 18 partner organizations from 7 European countries across diverse disciplines. So in project lifetime, we have worked with over 100 people from different countries, cultures, backgrounds, and experience.
We belonged to different fields of knowledge. We were urban planners, and we started a methodological interaction with engineers, information technologists. So it was difficult at start to find a common background and also a common vocabulary to work on. But we strongly believed, since our proposal, in the cross-fertilization of knowledges and activities. Our general scheme of work packages was really built on this, on the interaction among disciplines. And so I think that this is one of the elements that is also becoming one of the crucial outcome of repair. Thinking especially in the perspective of educational activities. We started coming from different disciplines with educational courses that could link these disciplines. And especially with the PhD programs, I think we had a great outcome in this sense that combined different kind of disciplines of repair, but also some industrial partners. So these PhD students had the chance really to experience what is the integration of activities that was one of our big challenge to overcome.
the interdisciplinary play together between all the disciplines, between the different work packages, and in particular, let's say this continuous reciprocal, I would say, feedback between the different specialities to get, let's say, the output, which is an integrated tool for resource management, which really informs practice, but also informs decision making related to that.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. And if you need any further information, visit our webpage. Goodbye.